Yeah, I'm surprised Bitcoin's going up, man. Would have been a genius to get some Bitcoin back when it was $1. You would have had to have kept like your encryption yourself. There was no like money manager doing it for you, as far as I know. Yep. Crazy. Bitcoin at $130,000. Bitcoin may go to $1 million. It could also be a gigantic rug pull. I disagree with Bitcoin on fundamentals, like it's a huge waste of time and energy. The limits in the coin amount is a myth. Um, you know, they think the dollar is valuable that's printed at your debt and tax that has God on it. So I mean, like Bitcoin is, this is my read of Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin an actual useful thing? No, Bitcoin sucks. But here's the thing. They're stupid and they like scams. And so they're going to think Bitcoin is awesome because they can't tell the difference between a good idea and a bad idea. And as soon as they see the success, like Bitcoin at $130,000, it's going to flood in. And at some point, probably past, I doubt you're going to see like Bitcoin forever. At some point, it's going to burst, and Bitcoin will go to zero or Bitcoin will go to $2 or whatever. And that's probably going to come from like, basically, like if you've paid attention, people have been able to hack Bitcoin to steal Bitcoins. Also, as computers get better, you may find that the Bitcoin encryption's no good. And so I think Bitcoin is a big, big scam. But the reason it's having success is completely due to stupid people, is that people can't read how Bitcoin works and make determinations about its quality. And they just look at what everyone else is doing and bandwagon. So I'm happy with like not investing in Bitcoin. I guess I could do $1 a day. You'd probably see that grow. Yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, I had an opportunity to invest in Bitcoin. It was like $2,000 a coin. Now it's 130,000. So yeah, if you have some spending money, it wouldn't hurt to put some spending money in. But I mean, these people like Bitcoin's the future. They can increase the number of total coins through mining. And every process transaction has a huge like processor load, is all these machines have to fucking do it. So it's a waste of time. There's all this like technical gear and stuff that you need. See, when the SEC talks about scarcity, they're talking about real scarcity, not it might increase later as people mine it. And when they talk about labor, they're not talking about a robot doing a mindless task over and over. These are government dweebs. They don't work at all. To them, labor is, writing a bill, right? And so when they talk about labor, we're not talking about a computer doing a mindless crypto puzzle. That's not labor because it doesn't do anything for us, right? And so, yeah, Bitcoin is like, holographic money is better. It's scarce. It's socially more equitable. It's better collectible. Bitcoin is meaningless. A holographic dollar is a time and space certificate, right? So holographic money is a lot better. You may also be aware that you don't really know who's behind Bitcoin. As people have pointed out, Satoshi is an unknown person. The creator of Bitcoin, no one really knows who it is. Yeah. Decentralized currency. $130,000 per Bitcoin, and the total number of Bitcoins is supposed to be 21 million. And I've heard that they can increase it through mining. That basically those people who are running those crypto rigs will be able to earn themselves Bitcoins by doing constant constant power churning processes. It's retarded. Like Bitcoin is literally bad. It's scarce but not scarce, and it has a burn when you do an actual movement of money. There's a burn on it. And the labor is useless labor. That's the thing, is the labor behind Bitcoin is stupid. So yes, it's increased in value tremendously, but it's because people are idiots and they can't really tell what's valuable or not. They go with like fads and stuff like that. So yeah, I have no doubt Bitcoin's going to balloon. I look forward to the crash when all the Bitcoin billionaires throw themselves to their deaths. But yeah, I wouldn't trust it. So you have like $15 here and there. Hey, you might turn $15 into $200 or more. That's pretty cool. Obviously to ride it up would be awesome, but when the rug pull happens, it's going to be pretty devastating. So there's always the risk as it balloons to a new height that the people who are just riding it to balloon a certain amount, right? They put a big amount in and they want that to balloon and then take it out, that they're going to bail. And that's going to affect the overall price. So I'm not with Bitcoin as a money. I think it's stupid. It's obviously more valuable than gold. The Bitcoin money increase is worth more than it having gold. So, which for something that just costs a ton of processing power and is pseudo scarce is very suspicious and can be hacked. That's the thing, is it's not actually secure like that. Is people have been able to hack it and steal like, many Bitcoins. So, but yeah, it's meteoric rise, $130,000 a Bitcoin, way more than like any stock for any major company ever. So yeah, it's seeing Bitcoin in the stock market is unreasonable, because it's like, who is this behemoth? It's Bitcoin. It doesn't do anything. It's a pyramid scheme. Yeah. So as people put their money in, the overall value and cost of the Bitcoin goes up, but it's pseudo scarce and the labor is pointless. And that's why it's bad. And I don't know if people will notice. Just because it's bad doesn't. Look at Beanie Babies or Pokemon cards or all this other stuff. People go nuts for that shit. But it is like crap. Pokemon's crap. I played a couple rounds of Magic the Gathering and a couple rounds of Pokemon, and both gave me a headache. I fucking hated it. I was like, this is fucking stupid. But Beanie Babies. People putting Beanie Babies in their walls. It's gold. Yeah, right. So sometimes there's like this auction thing where like the people who own a lot of Beanie Babies will like stage a sale, like, oh, this one Beanie Baby went for $1 million, and it's like, but that's to fool them, right? Fool the lemmings, which can work. The people with most of the money, I think, like worked and saved, and so it's like, that's why senior scams are so popular, is that someone who's got a mushy smooth brain may not be really able to hold it together, and you can convince them the Bitcoin is coming to take over. And so, yeah. Am I going to invest in Bitcoin? Probably like $1 a day. Set up $1 a day for like a while and see what happens. But yeah, the time to have gotten in would have been, that would have been the biggest return ever. Yeah. Buying Bitcoin would be better than stock options. The reason stock options are dangerous is that you can win with a stock option and make absolutely like turn thousands of dollars into hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. But you can also go negative and turn it into a complete fucking wipe, where you're suddenly a lot of money in debt. So yeah, a stock option can go negative as well. Yeah, making money with the stock market, I don't know. A place to long-term invest, I don't know. It's interesting that Jeff Bezos only makes like $40,000 a year from Amazon, right, when he was CEO. And all of Jeff Bezos' money came from the fact he owned a ton of shares of the stock, and the stock went up. So, which is kind of cool. Yeah, Jeff Bezos is a stock billionaire. Same thing with Musk. Yeah. It'd be interesting to get in the stock market, but you'd need to be a publicly traded company. I don't think you can be in the stock market and have what do you call it? You'd have to have a board of directors and all that. Be a real business. Someone like me, I don't know if I could start a fucking crypto coin. Yeah. No. I'm just going to keep championing holographic money as a design, and maybe one day they'll think of it. So maybe when storytelling AI gets really, really good, they'll adopt it naturally. Yeah, the idea of holographic is you put our lives on fresh individual dollars and then do a basic income for like kids and old people and stuff. And then that would simplify a lot of your problems. A lot of your problems are cooked into just the way the money works. The way the money works is too cruel. So anyway, thanks for listening. Yeah. Man, I dealt with a lot of circumcision idiots this morning. They know about Jeffrey Epstein, and then they defend the government's right to cut baby boys at birth, and it's like, you really are a fucking idiot. The people who say Trump derangement syndrome, it's not Trump derangement syndrome. It's the fact that he's just like, he's a fucking horny slime ball. He'll say anything to do anything, and it's like, they're rabid. They're absolutely rabid. The God Save America and the propriety is all a fucking ruse and a tool. He's perfectly fine with getting blowjobs from 12-year-olds. So his right as a man, he feels. Yeah, I tried it once under an alias. I tried saying online I'm a pedo. And all these people came in and supported me, and they said, like, it was like a congratulations sort of thing. It wasn't like, here's the sirens and here's the police. It was like, you got it, right? And so, yeah, they're all hella pedo-y. I don't support it. Kids aren't sex toys. I'm with it if, like, they choose to be with you. They could be anywhere and you're their favorite person. I don't care that much. But it's like, clearly they're being exploited, telling them they'll make them famous, telling them that, these are people who don't have money and you're offering them a lot of money to blow you and stuff like that. And it's like, clearly they don't have money, so that they're victims, right? Yeah, no little girl wants her freaking virginity taken by an old man. So, and then come the threats, right? The men are afraid of something happening to them, so they threaten their victims and their families. So, yeah, it's bad. The pedophiles of trash planet. Yeah, Bitcoin is blowing up. It went from 100,000 and skipped like 110,000, 120,000. Now it's at 130,000. Bitcoin did get to 110,000 and then crashed to 90,000. So we might see a freaking, what they call a correction, right? Is Bitcoin really that valuable? Yeah. Don't put any money in Bitcoin. You're not okay losing, or maybe do. Maybe you'll be able to pull it out, right? And you go from put in $100,000 as you go from 130 to 150,000, and then pull it out, and you made money. And then, see, you could make money on Bitcoin without holding Bitcoins. It's about putting it in and then selling it when it's high and then growing it that way. So, but yeah, I think holographic money would just be better. You could have Bitcoin and its relative value of HGM. Bitcoin and holographic money aren't mutually exclusive, but I think Bitcoin just has problems. It's like the fact that its maximum coins isn't the true maximum, and the fact that its labor is pointless busy work are two things that make it really weak. And the fact that it can be hacked, these are things that make it really weak. The thing that's weak for the dollar is the fact the government can just print infinite money. The thing that's strong for the dollar is people use it, people labor for it, and it's usable for goods and services. Bitcoin is not used for any goods and services. After the Silk Road was shut down, Bitcoin was pointless. Nobody uses Bitcoin for anything. It's just like, it's like a savings pit. Yeah. As soon as the mega whales decide to pull their money out of Bitcoin, it's going to crash. So that might happen all at once. It happens that way, where like one of them does it and then the rest of them do it, and then it fucking tanks. So you might be able to ride that wave. You might. I definitely would be an idiot if I said nobody made money on Bitcoin. Clearly people have become millionaires and billionaires on Bitcoin. But is it fundamentally a good idea? No. But there's people who made a lot of money doing really stupid shit, like Jackass, right? Don't get it in a giant grocery cart and roll down the street. But they did, and it fucking won. So whatever.